are coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios. This is Prime News on SABC 3 and in your top stories at this hour. The City of Joburg MMC for Public Safety, Councillor Dr. Bekkersdal, is visiting the families affected by the collapsed building in Soweto this afternoon. 3 people, including a 1-year-old child, died when a double-story property they were in collapsed. According to the latest data from the Central Energy Fund, fuel prices are expected to go down by 46 and 51 cents per litre, for unleaded petrol 93 and 95 respectively in the new year. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to meet with US President Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago this evening. The second phase of the Gaza ceasefire plan is on the agenda. A hearty hello to you all and welcome to Prime News on SABC 3. My name is Bekkersdal and I will be guiding you through the top stories that are shaping global events in our world today. Let's take a look at your leads, and here they are. A Soweto family is still reeling after 3 members, including a toddler, died when a double-story building they were in collapsed. 3 other people who were trapped beneath the rubble were successfully extricated and rushed to the hospital. The cause of the collapse is not yet known and police are still investigating. For the Xaba family, there will be no celebrations to end the year. Instead, they will be preparing to lay their loved ones to rest. 24-year-old Ngobile Xaba, 60-year-old Hloniphile Xaba, and 1-year, 8-month-old Langelihle Xaba died when their home collapsed while they were sleeping. The family has appealed to the public for assistance with funeral arrangements. For more on the story, we now cross over to SABC News reporter Mbalenhle Mthethwa, who's currently in Soweto as the MMC for Public Safety and Security in the city of Johannesburg. Dr. Bekkersdal is visiting the family. Mbalenhle, very sad news indeed. Now, we understand that the family has called on government and the community at large to assist with the burial of their loved ones. We understand that MMC is still on his way, but have you spoken to any government officials? And is there an indication on any plans of support during this difficult time?
Well, certainly there have been a number of officials who have come to pay their condolences to the family, and some of those include Johannesburg Executive Mayor Dada Morero, as well as the MMC for Human Settlement Mlungisi Mabaso, and the MMC for Economic Development Nomoya Mnisi, who said she had come here as a community member, saying that she doesn't stay very far. She doesn't live very far from here, and that she grew up just a stone throw away from where we are. We also spoke to a ward councillor just regarding a number of allegations. Now, you would believe, well, the thing that we need to clarify is that the building or the structure that collapsed onto the family was not their primary home, but a shack that is just across the road. They had just moved there to spend the night, and unfortunately the building then collapsed. I'm going to step out of the shot just to show you the visuals behind me. Let me just show you. I'm not certain as to what is happening on the other side, but I do understand that it would seem as though the MMC for Community Safety has arrived, and you'll see right in the corner over there are those who are gathering around, and as you would know, that the family has requested the public, or pleaded with the public for some sort of assistance, and we've heard the government saying that, you know, this land is dolomatic, and that the people were not actually even supposed to be staying here to begin with, and that the structure that they were staying in, or the double-story structure which collapsed, did not go through the proper processes where there are plans that are submitted through the municipality and so on. So it would seem as though the best thing that the government can do at the moment is to relocate those who are here. But it wouldn't be the first time that people have been relocated from this piece of land, but it would seem as though every time community members are relocated relocated, it seems there's another group that comes along without really understanding what it means to stay on land that is dolomatic. This would mean that it's not suitable really for human habitation, but I'm going to step out of the shot yet again in the hopes that I'll be able to get hold of the MMC right now, but it's unclear as to what is going on. Is there a fight? Okay, it's fine. We will keep you posted. I'm sorry? Okay, it seems as though there are allegations of bullying by some of those who are here, but I'm just going to get more information. It's back to you in studio.
Thank you so much, Mbalenhle. Thank you for keeping us posted. Our thoughts are certainly with the family. Well, that was SABC News reporter Mbalenhle Mthethwa live from Doornkop in Soweto following a double-story building that left 3 family members, including a toddler, dead. Now we move on to this. Residents in Bekkersdal have expressed dissatisfaction after being chased out of the Western Area Magistrates Court west of Johannesburg today due to concerns that their presence might jeopardize the matter. This comes amid the appearance in court of 11 people, including 10 alleged illegal minors, after being found in possession of illegal firearms and ammunition by the police. The accused are not yet linked to the mass shooting that occurred at KwaNoxolo Tavern in Bekkersdal, which claimed 9 lives and left 10 others wounded.
We're here to make a mark that these people they should not be granted a bail because of blood. The families, they are crying. So we are here to support them, and we want to tell the president of this country, Cyril Ramaphosa, must declare a state emergency in Bekkersdal. We want to see all the guns being removed in the society. Only the police and the soldiers should carry the guns. What else they are on duty. And we're also requesting the government to make sure all the foreigners, when they arrive in this country, they put them to the refugees camp and make sure they verify them thoroughly, because some of them, they are not here with the good intentions in our country. They are here to make crime.
We feel like they are protecting the perpetrators. How can they don't let us to see who are the people who are busy killing us at our locations, you see, because it is very disappointing. We are here to support the family as concerned residents of Bekkersdal.
In other news, tributes continue to pour in following the death of former ANC NEC member and MP Dikeledi Magadzi. Magadzi passed away over the past weekend at the age of 75, and she served as Deputy Minister in 2 portfolios, Transport and the Water and Sanitation Departments.
The late Dikeledi Magadzi completed qualifications in nursing before entering the political landscape. As a leader in her various capacities, many have described her as a warm, kind and compassionate person.
She was also a very wonderful person, community person, even before come to the family. She has a good relationship with everybody. She also was a very good person, a good family member, a good parent. She was the youngest Makoti.
She served as Deputy Minister of the Department of Transport as well as Water and Sanitation. Before her role in the ANC National Executive Committee, Magadzi led various provincial departments in Limpopo as an MEC. During her early years, she also played a crucial role towards the formation of branches of labor union Nehawu.
She was politically active in the underground structures of the ANC. She was also a very active member of FETRO. Those who don't know, FETRO is Federation of Transvaal Women, a forerunner or a placeholder of the Women's League at that time. So she worked in that structure and other structures of the UDF.
Her family says a statement regarding a memorial service and funeral will be made public soon. Katle Khonyoni, SABC News, Polokwane.
Coming up, motorists could be in for some relief at the pumps in January, supported by a stronger rand and a weaker oil price. This and more when we return. Welcome back to Prime News on 3. Motorists could be in for some relief at the pumps in January, supported by a stronger rand and a weaker oil price. According to the latest data from the Central Energy Fund, both grades of petrol are set to decrease by between 49 cents and 54 cents per litre. This, while diesel users are likely to benefit the most with a decrease between R1.26 and R1.38 per litre. At the same time, illuminating paraffin is expected to drop by R1 per litre in the same period. The Department of Mineral and Petroleum Resources is expected to announce the new fuel prices before they kick in on the first Wednesday of the new year. The rand is ending the year with renewed confidence, underpinned by a clear improvement in sentiment towards South Africa. We move on to this. Gold has risen to over $4,500 per ounce today, rising by 6%. Monday morning, markets opened with gold trading at $4,509 an ounce. And last week at the close of the markets on Christmas Eve, gold was trading at $4,486. Makwe Masilela from Makwe Fund Managers says that gold has risen significantly this year, driven by geopolitical uncertainty, expected interest rate cuts in the US, and ongoing de-dollarization.
Gold continued to rally, as we have seen now lately that it was getting very strong, and it's all because of the escalating geopolitical tensions. We see the situation in Venezuela, we see the situation in Nigeria, where Washington also attacked some militants, and also we've just seen that the talks that were led by the US to get a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine failed to bring a breakthrough. And not forgetting that gold itself, it is priced in dollars, so the minute we see the US dollar weakening, that makes it attractive for buyers of other currencies. And we know that the weakness of the dollar is all because of the rising expectations that come next year, 2026, we'll continue to see interest rates being reduced in the US, so that itself worked against the US dollar itself, but fortunately it worked for the benefit of gold itself.
Up next, ProMats, a South African education initiative that provides extra after-school tutoring in mathematics and physical science for grade 10 to 12 learners from disadvantaged communities, says that it has found that there is a big gap of underqualified maths and science teachers in the country.
ProMats was co-founded by Investec 20 years ago after the institution identified ongoing concerns in South Africa's education system. It says that the biggest gap found in the system was that of maths and science. It says it found that this problem mainly lied in public and rural schools, impacting mainly students from disadvantaged communities.
The biggest gaps, one of the biggest ones is inadequately qualified maths and science teachers. We've long made teacher development a key focus of ours. The development of new teachers, we've done partnerships with ISASA and others. We even in ProMats alone, we do teacher development. All this is aimed at developing our own teachers who are part of ProMats, but also extending that offer to teachers who are from our feeder schools. It is us contribution to the system to better capacitate the system.
Learners who attended the 20th celebration expressed how the program has helped with their maths and science performance.
In grade 9, I was performing at 72% in terms of mathematics, but when I started attending the Kutwanong program, my performance enhanced from 72% in terms of mathematics to 100%, because currently I'm performing at 100%.
Investec says it is in talks with other corporates to create better access to quality tertiary education. Notando Makotulela, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Thank you for staying with us. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to meet U.S. President Donald Trump in Florida this evening. 3 of Israel's war fronts are on the agenda for the meeting: Gaza, Iran and Lebanon. Blake Sifton compiled the following report from Tel Aviv.
Prime Minister Netanyahu is expected to meet President Trump at his Mar-a-Lago estate later today. This will be the 6th meeting between the two leaders since President Trump returned to office last January. At this meeting, President Trump is expected to push for progress toward the second and wider phase of the Gaza peace plan. Now, Israel has said in the past that they will not move forward to phase 2 until all of the bodies of hostages are returned from Gaza. The body of one Israeli hostage remains in the territory, and Netanyahu is now under increasing pressure from President Trump and from the United States government to move forward with progress toward the second phase of the peace plan. In the second phase of the deal, a transitional government of Palestinian technocrats is meant to take over governance of Gaza, and it's meant to be overseen by an international supervisory body that's known as the Board of Peace. Hamas is also expected to be disarmed by an international stabilization force that's meant to enter Gaza to assist with demilitarization, while Israeli forces withdraw further from Gaza.
In your sports news, Bafana takes on Zimbabwe in a crucial Group B clash at the Africa Cup of Nations in Marrakesh this evening. A draw is enough to secure their spot in the knockout rounds, but coach Hugo Broos is urging his team not to settle for a point. Popular venues will most likely be packed with patrons, hoping to enjoy the football with some of their favorite beverages. Our sports anchor, Xoli Zondo, is at such an establishment in Centurion.
Well, Becky, a very good afternoon to you. We find ourselves in Centurion at an establishment, of course, Shisanyama, where we are building up to the crunch encounter between Zimbabwe and Bafana. It will be kicking off at 6 p.m., so that's about an hour and 8 minutes time. And of course, we know the winner of this encounter will be progressing to the round of 16 at the Africa Cup of Nations, which will be taking place, in fact, in Marrakesh in Morocco. Now, just in terms of the fans that are coming through to the establishment, they have been really streaming in dribs and drabs, and of course we will be chatting to them just to understand how they are feeling ahead of this crunch encounter. When you look at the Zimbabwean side, of course, for the likes of Prince Dube, he was really exceptional against Egypt when he scored, taking the Zimbabwean side 1-0 into the halftime break, a match which of course Egypt ended up winning. And for the likes of Knowledge Musona, of course, coming through to equalize against Angola. So that attacking threat is really going to come through, but we will be relying as Bafana on the likes of Bekkersdal, who really won all of his duels against Egypt, a phenomenal player that he was. And of course for the likes of Osman Apollos, Lyle Foster, who have found the back of the net for South Africa, hoping that they will be able to do the same this evening. Now, we know for Zimbabwe, a win will make sure that they go through to the round of 16 for the very first time in their history. That is in terms of the AFCON. And for Bafana, all that they need is a draw. But Coach Hugo Broos has said that they are going for more than a draw in this encounter. I will now start bringing in the fans and, of course, the owner of this establishment to talk about just this crunch encounter. Bafana, Zimbabwe, it's really going down to the wire.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for being part of us. Actually, we are expecting more fans tonight. It's quite a big game, and actually, we're expecting our fans and supporters to be here tonight. Actually, we're expecting with South Africa to win. That's what we'll need tonight.
No, absolutely. We are hoping that Bafana will continue on their positive trajectory. Of course, we know they've qualified for the FIFA World Cup, and now it would only make sense for them to go through to the round of 16. Let's talk a little bit about that previous encounter, which was so controversial with Bafana, Egypt, VAR really having a last say, which is why they walked away without a point.
It was quite an interesting match, let me say. Fans also a bit disappointed, but to be honest with you, Bafana played a very good match. Yeah.
And then maybe let's just talk about a quick prediction. How do you think it's going to go? What's the scoreline looking like? Who's going to be scoring for either of the teams?
It's quite unpredictable, but I think 1-0 in favor of South Africa, who will take us there, trust me.
All right, he's saying it's going to be a slender victory for South Africa, but of course that's all that they need. 3 points would be a cherry on top, but of course a draw is what will make sure that they do progress to the round of 16. We'll now take it back to you, Becky, in studio, and of course when you do get back to us, we will be talking to more fans about this exciting encounter. Many South Africans who are here positive that Bafana can walk away with victory against Zimbabwe.
Well, thank you very much for giving us a front row seat to the pending action there, Xoli. We are certainly hoping that our boys will do us proud. That was Xoli Zondo for SABC Sports, giving us the minute-by-minute action and the general mood of the supporters for tonight's game. That is South Africa versus Zimbabwe, and kickoff is at 6 p.m. sharp, so do not miss it. Now, the skies are constantly telling a story, and our weather whisperer has the scoop. Let's check in as your weather forecast is coming up next.
Thank you very much and a very warm welcome to the weather desk. Now let's take a quick look at what to expect in our weather details for this evening as well as for tomorrow. Clear skies ahead of this evening for the central and southern parts of the country, but rainy conditions expected over the eastern provinces, scattered in KwaZulu-Natal all the way into Mpumalanga, Limpopo, Gauteng, as well as parts of the northwest and the Free State provinces. Otherwise isolated as you move into the eastern parts of KwaZulu-Natal all the way into central Free State, parts of the northwest as well as the northern parts of the Northern Cape. Tomorrow those rainy conditions are expected to continue, especially over parts of KwaZulu-Natal where scattered showers are expected going into the northern parts of the Eastern Cape, the Free State, central Mpumalanga, all the way into Gauteng, the northwest as well as the extreme northern parts of the Northern Cape. And again, isolated showers as you move into the rest of the Eastern Cape province, the eastern parts of the Western Cape, parts of the Northern Cape as well as the Free State, going into the central parts of Limpopo and the low velds of Mpumalanga. Now looking at our weather warnings for this evening, severe thunderstorms expected at a yellow level 2 for the western parts of KwaZulu-Natal into the central and western parts of Mpumalanga, eastern Free State, Gauteng, as well as the western parts of Limpopo and that eastern corner of the northwest. Tomorrow the severe thunderstorms expected to spread into the central parts of the Free State as well as the northwest, all the way into Gauteng and Mpumalanga as well as parts of KwaZulu-Natal. Overnight temperatures are expected to remain fairly cool for most parts of the country. 16 as a minimum in Bethlehem, 15 in Johannesburg, 21 in Messina overnight, 18 in Durban, 19 for East London, Graaff-Reinet 12, Sutherland 15, Uppington will have a minimum of 22. Now looking at our maximum temperatures, we'll reach highs of 33 in Bloemfontein, 28 in Bethlehem, 25 in Johannesburg, up north in Messina, quite hot with a maximum of 31 for Richards Bay as well. Durban 27, Komani 35, 27 for Gqeberha, George 26. Sutherland will be warm with a maximum of 33. That's all from the weather desk.
And that's all we have for you today. Thank you for tuning into Prime News on SABC3. Make sure not to miss out on all the football action in a moment at 6 p.m. on this channel. Until next time, from myself, Becky, and the team, stay winning.